Yeah, we're live now, so that's cool. Hey everyone, how's it going? Who do we got online here with us? We got 4 waiting. How do they? Don't they just have to like jump in? I guess I should turn off the back stream. There you go. Yeah, nice. Welcome all.
Hey, John, how you doing?
Hey John, good to see you. All right, so we know it's working. The YouTube channel's working.
Yep.
Right on. All right. Are you able to grab that? Yeah, I should do it.
Yeah, I did. I was able to. I enlarged it so I could see some of the text.
Oh, we got 6 people looking. All right, cool. Let's get this started. If you're on YouTube. Yeah, we are. Well, it's weird hearing myself talk. All right, let's drop this in the Discord.
Oh, that's very nice. I never knew what your first name was, Virginia Dog. So it's nice to meet you, John. I like your trading name. West Virginia or regular Virginia? Not that it matters. Just curious.
I've been to West Virginia.
It's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to Virginia a couple times, but never West Virginia. But I've heard it's very nice.
Nice.
There's a song about it, right? West Virginia.
Yeah.
Ridge Mountains, stuff like that.
Regular Virginia. All right, cool. All right, let's get started. Because I got to drop here at in an hour time here, and I'm sure you got some other stuff to get to as well.
Cool.
But let's jump in. Welcome everyone. My name is Steven. I'm a founder and administrator for the Cashflow University Discord group, and with me today is my good friend Uzi. Uzi, do you want to give a quick intro?
Yeah, sure. So I'm trading full time since 1998. I was trading prior to that part time as I was running a company that I started, and I got started in the business by basically just doing what everyone I think does when they don't know what to do. They just you buy some penny stocks. That didn't go well, so I quickly got out of that and I learned options. And I started buying options and selling, buying calls and puts as I was working during my day. I was able to do it. And believe it or not, back then we had archaic way of trading. We had to use our phone. I could use my phone, but I had to.
You had to like call it in though.
Either call it in or use each number as a digit on the symbol. And each, if you recall back in the day, XYZ was one letter and JKL was another letter. It was really crazy, but that's how I started. I started with trading on fractions. And then it changed to decimals in 2001 or 2. I traded through the dot-com bubble. Yeah. I switched from options to day trading stocks. If you guys want to look up one day when you're bored, SOES trading, SOES. We used to be able to get guaranteed 1,000 shares with the press of a button. That's when I went to an office trading setting. But so I've been trading for a long time, done it all, and been through a lot of ups and downs. And happy to say I found my way. And I found a way a long time ago, and it's nice. But I still trade multiple different strategies, with the central portion being premium selling. So I'm first and foremost a premium seller, but I will also go long, various option spreads and long strategies too, depending on what I'm seeing in the charts and from technicals. So,
right on. Good. Thanks, Uzi. Thanks for that. That's awesome. That seems like wow, you've been around since. Kind of the Stone Age, I guess, right? But
I don't want to tell you how old I am. I don't look it, but I'm old, bro.
I have an idea. Okay, so I just wanted to give a quick intro and shout out to all the new members who have joined us over the last couple of weeks. We've had a lot of new members join, and that's fantastic. Probably the number one question most members have when they jump in is, where do I get started? And what I've done here is I've taken a quick little screenshot, and funny, like this is completely random. And Uzi, you're in here a lot. I'm just going off the lounge channel here, and a lot of the posts that we see here are yourself. I don't know if you remember even posting these messages. It's probably been a couple of days since I grabbed the screen.
Okay.
But what I'll do is I'll just step through the four major sections that we have. The first one is number one there at the top. That's kind of the chat channel, the lounge, share your wins, pretty basic stuff. You can talk about stocks and options and see what everyone's doing. It's kind of a free reign. There's no real rules on there, although we do ask the members don't talk a lot about crypto. It's in one of our licensing agreements that we don't promote crypto. We don't push coins, but that's a topic for another day. Number two down there, these are where our pro traders are trading each and every day. So this is where Uzi lives, right here on the Uzi Trades channel. He'll post his trades that he's doing there every day. He's almost posting a trade or exiting a trade. Kyle as well, he's at the very top. He's one of our most active traders, and he also has a Kyle 10K trades channel. And what that is Kyle has a $10,000 account, and he's trying to get that up to, as high as it can go as quickly as possible. And that started in 2025. So if you're joining us now, middle of the year, that's only been going on for 5 or 6 months. And so you can follow that along. It's really good for guys with smaller accounts because he's trading 1 or 2 contracts maximum and some shares here and there. But really good channel there. Uzi, do you want to give us a little overview of your channel that you're running there?
Yeah. So, with most of my trades, I like to use for the Discord. I like to use a lot of premium selling. I think it definitely is your higher odds of winning trade. So when I say I do all types of strategies and I do some longs, I really prefer to do that in my own account where I don't jeopardize the members to, let's say, exposure to lower odds trades. So in my channel, I specifically focus on premium selling trades. Now that runs the gamut of put credit spreads, cash secured puts, call credit spreads, things of that nature, ratio spreads. I've been incorporating some new strategies like what's called the Zebra and the Jade Lizard. The Jade Lizard is a credit trade, whereas the Zebra is a debit spread. But what the Zebra is it mimics owning 100 shares of the stock by using long options and short options. So it's pretty cool because you don't have the same low odds of winning if you just bought calls, let's say, and hope that you got your move up. Because it has a sell call component in it, it removes the extrinsic value and it simulates owning the shares. So you get sometimes over 100 delta, depending on how it's structured, but you'll get 100 delta. So if the stock goes up, you make money. But if it goes down, you don't lose as much as you would on a regular call. So my channel is basically premium selling. And I like to close most of my trades, begin closing them when I reach 50% profit levels. If that comes quickly, I'll close it at 50%. If it takes maybe a little bit longer, a week or two, and it's just eking out profits but going slow, I'll let it go longer, maybe to 70%, upwards of 70% if I can, and then close it and move on to the next trade.
Exactly. Awesome. Thanks, Uzi. And then we got some more pro traders down there below. Mark, Business Famous, and you'll also notice a members trade channel there. That's where some of our more experienced members even can drop a trade into that channel, and you can grab it and follow along with them. Those that are online or watching this later, if you do happen to enter a trade into that, we only ask that you do follow it to completion and make sure that if you open a trade, you also exit the trade either for a loss or for a win and profit. Number 3 down there, that's CFU Black. That's our top tier trading service that we run. And that's reserved for members who have been with us for more than 6 months. And what we do in there, it's more aggressive. We do more contracts, and we try to get profit on a steady basis. But we do use more aggressive trading strategies. We'll trade and sell puts and calls that are in the money in hopes that it'll go to our favor there. And it's a great channel. It's much more aggressive. But after you've been with us for 6 months, DM me and I'll upgrade your account. You can join that trading tier. There's no extra charge for it. It's just the experience is the only requirement that we have there with you. Number 4 at the very bottom, that's our more systematic trading system. So we do some aggressive, but it's more fully hedged and making sure that we're not going to lose money. We'll roll as we did today with Lululemon. And it gives you an opportunity to see how we trade options at CFU. And it's a great place to start. If you're just starting off with those system trades, make sure you start off with one contract per trade. As you get more familiar with it, then you can start going up to 2, 3, 4, and 5 contracts per trade. But get your feet wet and find out what it's all about down there in number 4. All right, let's move on. And I like that you talked about being capping your profit and pulling it out early. That's a great strategy, Uzi. We'll talk a little bit about that today. This screen here, what we're talking about here, this is a trade alert. This is the format that we follow, or that more precisely that I follow in doing a trade alert. What I'm showing you is exactly where the trade's going to go. I'm just trying to get my full screen going here so I can zoom in on it. Yeah, so I go over the trade, the current price, the prior credit. This is a roll alert, so I'm telling you what we were in before, the cost to close that trade, and then we're going to roll into a new trade there as we go along. We do step by step. Step 1, this is to close the trade. Step 2, this is to open the new, in this case, June 20th put credit spread. And we also give you the limit order that we want you to enter in on. And you can see like the option symbols that we're trading and the precise orders of sell to close, that's STC, or buy to close, that's BTC, and sell to open, which is STO, and buy to open, which is BTO. If you guys have more questions on that, you can always refer to our getting started guide that gives you a good outline there of what to expect and how to trade options specifically with us. But I just wanted to give a good, clear outline of what our trade orders look like. What some members also say is that we are really chatty. CFU is really busy each and every day. We have about 200 to 300 posts a day in the Discord. That might be too much for some members. And what you can do is you can go through the channels, which are listed out here, and you can mute these channels that you don't want to listen to or that are overwhelming you. And you can put notifications on the trading channels that are most important for you. So what I recommend is that you go through, and if you want to trade our system trades, turn system trade alerts on for notifications. If you want to follow Uzi's trades, go up to his channel and turn on notifications there. On those specific channels, only the trader will post trade alerts inside those. So those give you, it's a way to temper down the conversation and the chatter, and for you to focus on the value add posts that we're putting out there. Okay. Now, of course, you can open it all up and you can participate lively in the community and talk with one another. But I have heard from a lot of people that we're very chatty and very busy, and it's hard and it's overwhelming in terms of, I don't know what to pull out of here for the messaging and the post. So go through here, and all you have to do is just turn on notifications on the trade alerts and then mute the channels that are too chatty for you. Okay. And then another important part too that we do is I'll also, when we close off the trade, what I'll do is I'll put out an official trade ticket. This is one we did just recently on GLD or gold. And we were using this as a hedge against QQQ, or the Qs. And funny enough, gold rallied along with the Qs in this instance. And we were able to close this off for a good 15-day trade, $52 per contract. But This is in our black tier. So what we did is we actually traded 5 contracts on this. And you'll see down below, you'll see these trade tickets, I call them. This is where I have a ledger for every trade, and I record every single transaction that we go through so that you can see legitimately what we're doing. And we use actual fill data. We don't use the trade alert numbers. We actually use the numbers that we got the order filled on. Now, you might be wondering, where can I see these trade tickets and the ledgers? Well, every week we have an auditor called Drew 540. He goes through and audits all of the trades that we did for the week. He has a running algorithm in the background, and he makes sure that everything's in accordance with what we are posting. And you'll see here at the very top, it's not there on that one. Okay, but every week I'll share our trade ledger book with everyone, and it has all of the trades that we've been doing. So far, we're up to 327 trades, of which we were able to close 325 of those trades for profit. You can go into the trade ledger. You can see every single trade I've made, all the fill data, the opens and the close, and all the dates. And I upload that every Saturday morning in the results channel. Okay. let's go back to here. Uzi, step us through this trade here that you had.
Sure, be happy to. And I'd like to take a moment just to give a shout out to Drew because he does an amazing job. He watches over all of our trades, and sometimes he even has to remind us if we forgot about something or whatever. He does an amazing job taking care of it. I mean,
He
I
always
don't
reminds
know
me
how he does it.
the risk.
He's got a little Rain Man in it.
Risk. You're always all over the place with risk. I'm like, I don't know.
I think we ought to nickname him Rain Man. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, like he'll just come through and just say, "Here you go. You messed up. Here's your book back." And
Yeah.
I'm getting better and better at it. He's like, some weeks I'll be good and I didn't make any mistakes, but sometimes like, you miscalculated that roll risk and stuff. But it's good to have a third pair of eyes.
Oh yeah, and I was referring to yours. He's got me too. So it's just amazing.
Yeah, crazy.
It's a great system, and he's definitely one of the best I've ever seen with tracking. But so without further ado, this is a trade that I alerted. I think it was Wednesday. And what it was I was just doing some scanning, and I'll be honest, Stephen, I apologize to you because I didn't even know that you had a trade on MOS. I found out later on, but I was just scanning and I saw that MOS, was targeted for a very high RSI that I was just doing a random search on. Mm-hmm. So once I saw the high RSI, I began to look a little deeper because this has really been overbought for a few days at least. Yeah. You can see where the RSI crossed the 70 number, and it was hovering in the 80s. So I looked, like I said, looked a little bit deeper, and I saw that not only was it high there, but it was pushing right up against the Bollinger Band, but it was starting to turn down away from the Bollinger Bands, which I saw that was having potential too now to at least head down to the mid of the Bollingers. Plus, it had a bearish cross on the MACD with the combination of the histogram, which is a component of MACD if you choose to look at it, turning red and getting aggressively more red to the downside with the histogram area there. So I had basically four notches in the belt of, hey, should I put this trade on? And I said, you know what? I like the risk to reward. And it was a call credit spread, and it was a very close at the money call credit spread because I expected it's going to pull back soon. This isn't a trade I figured, let's put it out. And I gave it enough time, by the way. I gave the trade enough time, but I expected to move fairly soon. And by going out in time, I was able to garnish a nicer premium than just going, let's say, a week or two out. So I think it was a 30-day trade, 30-day expiration trade, and we closed in 2 days. I believe it was 54 or something % profit. So when I get that type of a profit in a couple of days, I like to book it, and then we can always reload or just look to the next direction for another opportunity.
Yeah. I've been bearish on MOS or MOS for quite some time here, and I got caught on the upswing there in the overbought status, and we've had to roll it up and out. So, but we're still remaining bearish. They don't have a good seasonality through the summer here, so we'll check in again on that one in September. I think I have it. We're short the 35 call on MOS.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's rolling over, Stephen. I think that give it a couple, week or two, you probably come right down to your strike.
Yeah, exactly. I think today it broke below the strike, so we're looking good there.
Oh, good. Great.
Okay, so Boro had a really good question here. Thanks, Drew. Yeah, exactly, Drew. Yeah, you're one of the best, buddy. Thanks for being with us.
Amen.
Boro had this question. It's a bit long, but I'll read it out here live for us. So system trades used to be scheduled on specific days. I noticed the last few months, system trades tend to be more random, still usually pre-market, but not on specific days. Any reason for the change? Okay, so what Boro is asking is down here at the bottom, we have the system trades. So in here, we have two systems that are actually running together. We have weekly income and we have options action. We collapse them together and put them underneath one banner here of system trades. System trades are actually still following the same schedule. I try to get them out pre-market. Sometimes that can be a little difficult, but I try to get them out at least half an hour before the market opens. Sometimes I'm able to do them the night before, but most of the time what's happening is I'm doing them the morning of. Okay, so what days are those? Usually it's Tuesday morning. I'll get the options action trades out. Those are this one here, options action. Those are for smaller accounts, a little more aggressive, tighter to the money, but I still take the trade to completion. Weekly income, that'll be posted usually Wednesday night or Thursday morning, half an hour before the open. So it's just sometimes it's just with schedules and what I'm doing in life, it's difficult to get the trade together and posted and ready to go at the same time every single week. It's just, I need some flexibility, but I will have options action done by Tuesday morning, half an hour before the market opens, and I'll have weekly income done before Thursday morning before the open. CFU Black, if I think Burrow, you're a CFU Black member, and that might be a little bit of the confusion. I haven't changed options action or weekly income, but CFU Black I've been taking a little more liberty with. That's for our top tier guys. I need to be able to have the flexibility of trade when I want to and as aggressive as I want to. I don't have any rules there. I can do basically what I want to do. And I show you just a really aggressive way to trade options there. So that might be part of the confusion is with CFU Black, I'll be a little more random when we roll and when we open a new position. You'll notice that I'm doing triangle trades in CFU Black. And as soon as I close one edge of the triangle, I try to open the next edge by the next morning. So that could be a little bit of, oh, this is really random. Like for today, for example, we opened up QQQ again, and we opened up Meta to replace American Express. So that was off schedule, but that was because American Express closed for profit yesterday. So
Nice.
Again, quick summary, options action and weekly income, same schedule by Tuesday and by Thursday. So Tuesday, Thursday, they'll always have new trades. And CFU Black, I take liberty with that one. Okay, so let's keep going. So this is the trade book. I share this every single Saturday morning. I upload that and I post that in the results section. This is where you can go through every single trade that is open and every single trade that I've closed since April of 2023. Again, all the data is actual fill data, which is pretty cool. I don't know of any other system or trading platform that records every trade that they do, and it's done to fill data, and it's also been audited by our good friend Drew 540. Okay, let's go on to our current open positions here that we have. So again, this isn't Uzi's trades, this isn't Kyle's trades. These are the systems that we have right now. And when I look at this, we're looking really good through the month of June and almost perfect through the month of July. Been doing this enough and long enough to know that things can change pretty quickly. So I'm not banking on any of these. It's not done until she's done. But we're looking pretty good. Like I don't have too much anxiety or sleepless nights over this portfolio right now. All we got to deal with is Cardinal Health next Friday or before, and then we'll roll from there. We got Eli Lilly, Amazon, Micron, all looking really good. And in fact, Amazon is starting to close out. Some members were able to get the closeout order completed today. I think one member got it done at 960, and we're trying to get 965 on the credit to close out that position. So anyways, I just wanted to say here that we're looking really good for June and July, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah. Any of these tickers that you're trading right now?
Apple. Yeah, we're in Apple. I'm in Apple. I posted we opened up an iron condor. We just closed the credit spread portion today, over 50%. I think it was 54% because Apple is starting to move up. I like to close out that put credit spread at over 50%, and now maybe not roll it up, but close it out and look next week to see if I can maybe put on another put credit spread to create the new iron condor. So we do have an open in my channel. We have an open call credit spread currently, and I believe it's at the 212 range. I could check, but I think it's 212. I could check. Apple is 215 by 217.5 call credit spread. So we still have some room to go, and it expires in next week, June 20th, 2 weeks.
And that's an important distinction between the live traders that we have, like yourself and Kyle and PK Recoil, is that you guys usually have tighter trade windows, like usually trading 1, 2, 3, 4 days out. Whereas with the system trades, I take a little further time out. And I do that for getting more premium, and also just I can't be trading day in, day out. I do have to spend some time managing CFU and trying to get the community to grow. So I just need a little bit more time, and I'm a slower paced trader, if you will, and you guys are a lot more active than than I am there. So,
well, what's great about that is we're staggered out. We're staggered out so that, depending on the members, if they have the similar situation with timing, they can pick and choose which really suits their schedule, which is great.
Yeah, that's true, right? Because like with me, you can just go a slower pace, more of 2 or 3 trades a week, and I'll build up your portfolio. Like here, we have here, I think this looks like 20 odd positions. Like that's a full deck of cards that we're playing with there.
Yep.
But though a lot of those trades were posted or were opened up in April or May. But if you want to trade with me a little slower pace, use the system trades. If you guys want a little bit more action, trade more with the pro traders in the section above in the Discord. Okay, let's get into it. Let's talk about max profit and the illusion that deceives us with max profit. All right, Uzi, give me your take on the image on the left here. The illusion of max profit. I'm putting you on the spot. I should have let you prepare for this.
I'll give you no preparation.
6 seconds to get ready for this. And just so everyone knows, he's coming in blank and raw on this. Tell me about the illusion of max profit.
I am coming in cold on this, guy. So here's my best efforts. So we all hope when we put a trade on, we know, especially if it's a defined type of a trade, defined risk and somewhat defined profit. If it's a spread, let's say, we know what we're shooting for, and we're hoping for max profit, right? But even with our best intentions and the best market on our side and a perfect execution in and out, max profit probably is not going to happen. And I think if we expect it at all, we're making a big mistake in trading. And that's one of the things that I actually didn't know early on. Because when we get involved in trading, we think, oh, we're going to get rich, we're going to make a lot of money. And yes, you can do very well, and we do as a group, with CFU. But to expect max profits is probably just a little too much. So to expect less than that is the way to go. And if you can look to say, hey, if I can make half of what I'm looking to make, or what it could make, that's a big win. And think about it. If you make 50% on what you could make, and it comes out to be, let's just say, 5% return on the risk for a short period of a trade, let's say a 2 week to 2 months, you're still making a lot more than most people in their accounts, in their banks, or in their institutions, even in a CD, because you're making that in a short period of time. So my interpretation of the illusion of max profit is it's never really going to be in reach. You can always shoot for it, and I think it's healthy to strive for it, but just don't get caught up in trying to reach it and get upset and revenge trade and get negged out and depressed if you have to just close it for a small profit, because a small profit is always better than reaching and trying to hold on to a trade forever, and then actually it turns around and you lose money on a trade.
Okay, yeah, exactly. And so if you're able to capture 80% of the profit and we'll go from there, you can recycle that profit, you can get it going again. And usually sometimes that last 20% or that .20, that .10 on the closeout order, you're waiting and waiting and waiting. And sometimes it's better just to close it out for .15 or .25, get that capital back and get that going again. And that will really be your max profit, your ability to continually open new trades and continually to grind to keep the theta working in your favor. Also, too, at the end, you're exposed to tail risk. You can have a problem where you're trying to get that last nickel or that last dime of profit, and the unforeseen event that you're trying to avoid or that you're sensitive to could actually happen. Like, for example, with Lululemon, we were waiting for the last, I think, 0.25 for that to come around before we were able to close out. It didn't happen. We had earnings last night, and the tail risk event actually did happen to us. It collapsed down to it went from 315, 317, and then down. Oh no, it was actually even higher than that. It was 330, and we were just waiting for the last little bit of IV to go out before it could close. It didn't, and then it opened up this morning at 270, 265, and so we had to roll. So that was our bad. We should have closed that trade maybe the day before and accepted a little lower profit there. Now, okay, now I'm going to also put you on the seat again, Uzi, and talk about the the profit exit rule of this ideal exit of 70 to 85%. I know you talked about 50%. Can you maybe just kind of edge that over a little bit towards this ideal exit of 70 to 85?
Yeah, so each trade, whether it's a spread, Well, typically with some type of a defined risk and defined profit setup, it has a probability of profit. Now, when you are going to shoot for, let's say, above 50%, um, you really, how do I say it? The ideal exit, yes, is the higher, anything above 50%, because there are going to be a lot of other trades that you have to either close maybe for a small loss, sometimes for a small win, sometimes for a small loss. So you're going to want to shoot for above 50, preferably in the 70 to 85% range, to offset those trades where you have to close for just a small scratch, maybe up to 5 or 10%, or a small loss. Although we don't really book too many losses in CFU at all. But the ideal exit would be 70 to 85, let's say. But um, I think it's just a rule to go by, and anything above 50%, again, for the way that I like to trade, because it is a little shorter term and sometimes I do use higher deltas. I like to know that I don't want to be exposed too long to the move that Stephen was just describing that happened with Lulu. That ulterior move could come out of nowhere, whether it's earnings or just a bad news event. So if you're getting your profits up to about 50% fairly quickly, I begin to look to close. And that doesn't mean you don't have to close all of the position. Let's say you put on 3 contracts and you get to 50%, and you do want to get to that 70 to 85% optimal closing rule. You can just close 1 or 2 and let maybe 1 run. This way, at least you're not going to lose on the whole position, all three contracts.
Yeah. Thanks, Uzi. And you'll notice too in the system trades, a lot of the times, I will always post a closeout order at the bottom of the trade alert, and I'll tell you exactly what to look for to get out. And if you're wondering, the formula that I'm basing that on is a GTC limit order of 80% of the total profit that you could realize if you closed out at that limit. It gets a little more difficult when we get into rolls, because I have to calculate, okay, we need to get 80% out of this. But the rule of thumb is if I can get 80% on the trade, that's when I'm going to punch the exit button. Mine are a little higher than Uzi. Uzi likes the 50% because he's a little shorter term on his trades. Mine are in the 80 to 90% range because I'm a little longer duration and I need to get more profit into your pocket. That last 0.1 or a dime, as I like to call it, it's not worth waiting around for. Just exit and move on to the next trade.
That makes sense. Yeah.
That's just where I'm at there with the ideal profit. And then it also gives everyone an idea of, okay, once we hit this limit, we're out, and it gets you guys in and out into a new trade. Okay, now this is kind of a fun one. I've never shown anyone this before, so this is live and this is brand new. You'll notice that in a lot of the trade alerts, I'll talk about seasonality. And I know it's a controversial way to look at trades, and a lot of people say seasonality doesn't matter, but I actually favor it quite a bit, and you'll see that in my trade alerts. So what is this chart that we're looking at here? This is what I generate in the background. You're going to ask, where did you generate this? What platform are you using? What website? This is mine. Nobody else owns this. Nobody else can actually run this. It's code that I've developed myself. So what I do is I take Apple as this ticker that we're looking at here today. These are the seasonal returns from June 2nd to July 18th for the last 10 years. You'll see here, this is 2014, 15, 16, 18, all the way up to 2024. It's not annual returns. It's what Apple has done in this small period, window period of June 2nd to July 18th. This is how it has behaved historically over the past 10 years. It's a little volatile. So I'll take the average return, I'll add the standard deviation on that, and that gets me this nice gray window here. This is the average return of Apple, and then this is your seasonal cone, as I call it. So when I'm coming in on Apple and I'm looking to say, okay, I'm going to trade this out to June 18th, and I can project that typically it behaves quite nicely. It only loses 2 out of the last 10 years, and once it was neutral, and the rest of the time, or twice it was neutral, the rest of the time it had really good positive returns. So then I'll say, okay, let's come in and let's put a put credit spread at about 200 or 205. I would even be comfortable with that. With it currently trading at 200, that 205 is going to have a really nice premium. So this is the seasonal cone within here. So you'll see that in the trade alerts. I'll say this is the seasonal cone between these and that. the upper and the lower, and this is the average behavior that Apple has exhibited over the past 10 years. Okay, so this is 100% proprietary. This is what CFU owns. This is what I use to look out into the future and base a lot of the trades on this. Funny enough, you'll see that Apple will tend to behave just like this as it goes forward into the future. Why is that? Well, seasonal patterns. People think of more of Apple during this time period. They're getting ready for summer, vacation with kids. They want to get a new iPad, or they're getting ready for back to school. So that'll be some of the July period there. So they'll start thinking about, well, maybe it's time to buy a new MacBook. Maybe it's time to buy a new iPhone or whatever that might be. Get their cell plan ready for their kid that's going off to college. That goes over to buying a new iPhone. Or they'll have a good earnings release, or this is coming on the tail end of a bad earnings release that might have happened earlier in the year. And so they'll come up with this might be the time when they're getting ready to do a new announcement, or in September is when they have their usual new iPhone release of the new iPhone 17. So this reflects traders getting ready for that anticipation of the move that's going to happen later in the year. So anyways, I just wanted to share that and show just what's happening behind the scenes. If you want to see the seasonal cone on any ticker, drop it in any of our, you can probably ask for it in the charting channel, and I'll drop it in there for you. I'll run it. It takes about a second for it to generate this algorithm and post it. Again, if you're wondering where to get it, it's not for sale. It comes with your CFU membership. Nobody else has this. Nobody else. It's not on a website or anything. This has all been coded by myself.
Very cool. Very cool. Love that. That's great.
Yeah. So go into the charting channel here. Maybe Uzi, I mean, you're the perfect guy to talk about this. This channel down here, the charting requests. I don't know if I can even put a marker onto it, but I don't know if I can. But at the very bottom of section 2, there's a channel called charting requests, and this is where Uzi also likes to play. Uzi, do you want to give us the breakdown on that one?
Yeah, sure. So the charting request channel is for all of you members who may be looking at a chart. Maybe you're looking to do something on your own, or you're actually in the trade already and you're not sure where you think it might go, or what you want to get a second set of eyes and see, hey, what does someone like myself think about its potential up or down, or what am I seeing? You could put the symbol in that area, just post it and say, hey, can I get this chart? And what I do is I analyze it from top to bottom down, and then I post out, a reply based on all the technicals I'm seeing, and then potential price routes that I map out on the chart for you with areas of major resistance, major support, Fibonacci level retracements or extensions, depending on what I'm seeing.
We should try and get let me try and, can I bring it on? Can I share my screen? And we could show people live what you're doing there. I don't know if I share screen, is it going to go into an infinite loop and mirror this thing?
I could do it for you.
I can do a window.
Yeah, you could do a window. Yep.
There we go. All right. Tell me if you see the Discord.
Yes.
Okay, great. Excellent. So I'll go down to charting channels here. And so this is, okay, sorry.
That's a recent one on RGTI that one of the members requested. So I go through the technicals, I go through the company in case someone's curious what do they actually do, and then I go right into the chart for you with what I'm seeing as far as I write it out in text, and then we'll click on a chart and we'll see where the major support resistance is. The pattern there is that's a cup and hand, that's a head and shoulders bottoming pattern, if you can see it in the green highlight, and with about 3 potential price routes based on supply and resistance, support, trend lines, and whatever I'm seeing.
Love it. That's great. And then you go through this one as well too.
Yeah, I usually put 2 charts. One that I mark up heavily, and one just so you can see what the MACD is, the RSI, and some of the technicals that I quote in the text. So you can see where I'm seeing the MACD, what I'm seeing there, the RSI down below. We're talking below the chart now. So I have MACD, RSI, and I have something called the TTM squeeze. What that is, it's an indicator I look at to see if a stock is squeezing. That's usually when the Keltner channels, which is another study you can add to your repertoire of studies if you want to. But when the Keltner channels get tight within the Bollinger Bands, which already are tight, in some instances you get what's called a squeeze. It's just an add-on that Think or Swim, my trading platform, offers. and it gives me an idea of if something has been getting really, really tight and compressed and it's about to make a move. Now, it doesn't tell you which way it's going to move, but based on other patterns, let's say if it's a cup and handle that's been forming, or a head and shoulders bottom that's been forming, whatever, we can get an idea that it's probably going to lean more 50% greater than 50% to the upside, and vice versa. If it's in a descending triangle maybe, and we get a squeeze forming, it could possibly break out imminently to the downside. So that's what the TTM squeeze is.
Then yeah, so that's great. So if I wanted to get a ticker done here, so I could go in here and just say, oh, what's one that we want to have members ask for? What's a ticker, guys? Give me a ticker, and I'll ask Uzi to chart it for us. Just drop it in the comments. Or maybe we'll just drop one in myself. All right, here we go. I'll just drop one in myself. Oh, you can see my cursor moving around. Oh, we got CrowdStrike. Okay, good one. XYZ. All right. Okay, let's go with those two. So, we got SWK. Thank you, Jennifer. Kishore, GE. Wow, now they're coming in, Uzi. You better get ready. Now, Uzi takes his time with this. He's not going to be able to drop these in real time. We should actually just watch you one time, like do a charting and all that kind of stuff. It'd be fun to watch.
We could do that. Yeah, we could do it down the road. Yeah, with live charting.
Yeah, right. Live charting, just watch you work the magic. Just CrowdStrike, XYZ, or block. That was a fun morning waking up to that ticker change. It was like, XYZ, what order filled? Like, no, it's block. I'm like, oh, great. What a nice ticker symbol you got there. Thanks, Jennifer. And then Kishore with GE. All right, so Uzi, here we go. We got CrowdStrike.
Okay.
GE, SWK, and what was that other one? Make me look again. XYZ. Man, I was even talking about it. What the heck? There we go.
I'll get on these over the weekend, and I see I have two requests already in progress. Yeah. So I'll get on these over the weekend, and you guys can check back, and you'll have your charts.
Cool, very good. So that's a nice little value add that we do here. See if you can ask for those anytime, not just during a video, but drop them in the chat, and the Uzi will get on them ASAP. Yes, he usually turns it around within 24 hours, I think.
Yes, sir. Usually, yes. I see that just two sitting there. Wasn't even aware. It's been a crazy week, and I'm just thankful we were all able to get out of certain trades unscathed, or just roll them for credits or debits, whatever the case is. And it's just crazy week. I tell you, the weeks go so fast. It's crazy.
All right, great. Let's get back to the presentation. Let me put it as full screen. We're on slide 2. Nope. Okay, so great. So just wanted to talk about the CFU Black one more time. This is we do a triangle system up in the CFU Black. So we use an anchor, a decay, and a hedge leg within the triangle there. It's a fantastic trading strategy that I've really come to love a lot. The anchor is the one that's driving the triangle. That's our primary sentiment or primary ETF that we're trading. We'll go really aggressive on that. You'll see we're doing 10 contracts on the Qs at this time. We have Eli Lilly. That's just sitting on the side as a decay leg. The goal there is that the decay leg will just sit. It's not correlated tightly with the Qs, and it should just provide some income if it behaves nicely. And then Apple, we're using this as a hedge against the Qs in case the Qs doesn't behave the way that we want to. So you'll see here we're bullish on the Qs and Eli. And then we're using Apple as an iron condor to sit and be neutral and just don't go anywhere. So this is going to behave nicely for us if the Qs don't do anything. This will continue to generate theta and profit for us. At the bottom here, we have SPY. This had American Express at the time, but this just closed this morning. And we have TLT, which is a good play with bonds there. So the idea here is that SPY will drive hard. It should continue to deliver profits. I think it closed today above 600, which is great. American Express, this popped, and we got all the profit out of this today. That closed out, and we replaced it with Meta. And then TLT is supposed to sit here beside the SPY, and it should increase in price if SPY doesn't behave. If the SPY increases in price, TLT will probably decline. but it's sitting here as a hedge just in case the SPY doesn't work out the way we want. And again, SPY is just the S&P 500 rolled into an ETF. Again, this is a CFU Black level trading system that we follow. After you've been with us for 6 months, just DM me and I'll get you in there. There's no additional charge. The only requirement is that you've been with CFU for 6 months. Okay. So is it used in the industry? Okay, so here we go. So Kishore asked this, is it used in the industry or is this your invention? So no, this is used in the industry. So you can trade based on seasonality. There's been studies that have shown if you trade based on seasonality, you'll get a little bit of alpha versus just staying in a buy and hold strategy with the S&P 500. I took that and ran with it, and I just used formulas that I'm familiar with in terms of coming up with a projection into the future of how a particular stock or option would then trade for. It works a lot of the time. It's been very fruitful and beneficial for me in my portfolio. And I find oftentimes if you want to get an edge or if you want to do something different, you got to do it differently than other people. And that's been my secret and ability to be able to continue to trade options, make profit from it, and then use it as an edge for when I'm rolling a trade as well. I've had enough time with it to kind of sit back and think and say, hey, what's really going on here? I think at the end of the day, if you have a system that you're trading or a methodology that you're trading, having something is better than nothing. And I think what has probably happened with Uzi and with other traders that I've talked with is they come up with their own method, and that method allows them to be make decisions quicker, not get emotionally involved, and rely on your system to eventually deliver the intended results. And when I look at the portfolio that I've been running with, like with 327 trades that I've been running over the course of the last 2 years with CFU, I've been able to close out 325 of those 327 for profit. Something right is happening there. My average duration is really bad. So if you compare me against Kyle or Uzi, I'm really bad on average duration of days. It takes me about 46 days to close a trade out, sometimes quicker. Like I got Abbevie done today in 3 days. I got members in for 80% profit on that one. And my average return on risk is 40%, 41% if you round up and give that to me. So it works. Like it's a steady method that delivers profit over the long period of time. And seeing as we're running a system and a service here, sometimes I'll get a lot of negative feedback, and it's helpful to have a system that I can rely on and have confidence in. And then eventually members come around and say, wow, that really worked out. I'm very impressed with what the system is doing here. And we've actually had it audited by a hedge fund. The Admiral, if you guys look in our Discord, the Admiral was able to take this and put it by a German hedge fund. And they said, it's interesting that someone online came up with this. This is a very unique way of trading. And they did have some suggestions for me on what I could do to improve it. But it was good to have them come back and say, this is quite the amazing system that you've come up with. And they were blown away.
Nice.
And then they asked me, how do we get it? I'm like, no way, man. I'm not sharing that with you. Like, this thing's going into my grave. Maybe I'll write a book before 10 years before I die or something.
Do it.
Yeah, right. The CFU method. Okay. I think that is all that we have. Oh, right. Okay, sorry. I actually didn't think that was the last thing, but this is the last slide, right? Yeah, there's no more after this.
Yes, that's it.
We do have a request out to the membership. So what we're doing, and maybe I'll share my screen on this one as well too. Let me just try and get it up there. And of course, I can't get the window up, but I should have it here. Here we go. Great, excellent. I just need to now enable stream to look at my new tab. If it seems like I'm new doing this, I am kind of new doing this. So give me add to stage. Nope.
If you edit the stage, it should show up below. Yeah, and then you can just present it.
Well, I want to remove. Oh, stop. Hide. Present. Here we go. Got it. Nope. Oh, I have to stop the screen. Then I can restart.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Share screen. Window. Okay, so what we're running here, guys, is this is our new website. I need to go to it now. You can see me moving it. Okay, so this is our new website that we have going here. It's still a little bit under development, but it's posted live. So we're running with this now. This is a good design, I think, that we've come up with. But what we're missing is under our proofs here, we've been able to put some membership wins that we have. We got some spots for some more. We'll fill those out as time comes. But we need some video testimonials. Right now, I got Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up. And of course, that is not what we're going for here. But we actually need real videos that we want to post on our website. And so we want it to be credible and honest. So what we're doing is we're asking members, if you have been with CFU for a while, for a minimum of 3 months, and you would like to participate in our video challenge or video testimonial, please help out. We would love to have video from you. It doesn't have to be anything special. You can just take a 60-second or a 90-second video from your phone. If it's 30 seconds, hey, we'll even take that too. But we want you to be a member for 3 months, use your own phone, share your honest experience with CFU, some of the wins that you've experienced. And if you're not sure what to say, here are some ideas. What's your trading like before joining CFU versus now? What's your favorite thing about the community? And how have we made a positive impact on your portfolio? You can DM myself, or you can DM Joshua, who is our writer behind the scene, and he's leading the initiative for us on this. To compensate you for your time and effort in doing this, we'll give you 1 free month of CFU. So if this takes you 5 or 10 minutes, heck, that's $59 in your pocket. You get a free month of CFU. And we'll also give you 1 free piece of CFU merchandise. We just updated all of the clothing and apparel that we have. This is the new hat. We went with a more subdue logo. You probably can't even see it unless I lean into it, but there it is there.
Nice.
And then we have the Join CFU on the back, right?
Nice.
And not only does it come in black, got to reach around here. We have it in white. Again, it's still subdued, nice and subtle. CFU on the back. And we also have it in green. So if you're trying to get like a little bit more loud with your clothing, or you got something that would go with this, there you go. We got green hats. So go to our website. There's a merchandise link off of that, and you can see what we've got available. If you do submit the video, you get a free month and you get a free piece of merch. Oh, and just one more thing with the merchandise, you do have to be in the United States or Canada. We can't ship yet to Europe yet. We'll fix that soon enough, but it's been not something we're able to do. Okay, great. Thanks everyone for being with us. We're just going to give it a few more minutes in case you have a question for us.
And on that merch, guys, I just want to tell you all, it's top-notch quality. I have a piece myself, and I'll tell you, I think it's going to last me the rest of my life because it's so well made. so do that video, that video for Stephen and for CFU, and you're going to have a nice piece of goods there because the quality is unmatched. It really is, Stephen. Really is. I was so surprised when I got it.
The hoodie's amazing. It's really thick and heavy. So
it is. It's nice. Real. I can't say it enough. It's really nice. Yeah. I don't know where you're having it made, but it's definitely high quality.
I don't know where we're making it either, to be honest. I don't know where it's coming from. we actually work with a family member of mine to do it. And she does a really good job of putting it all together and stuff. Yeah. So yeah.
High quality.
Yep. All right. Great. Thanks, Patrick. Yes. We appreciate that. Yeah, it's been an incredible journey that we've put together here. I think September this year will be our 3-year anniversary for CFU. So we're doing something right that has been able to last for 3 years, and we've been able to follow all of our trades to completion, and it's been a fantastic journey. And so with that, guys, we're going to end the video here. We'll be back next Friday, same time, same place, and we'll run through much of the same content, but again, we'll have new trades to cover off. And then again, if you guys have any questions, let us know, and we'll be happy to answer them live. Usually, if you're free, join us and go through some charting live with us, maybe.
Yes, definitely.
Give you a chance to.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks everyone for attending and all your questions, and supporting our mission here to just bring you the trades, bring you up to date on what's going on behind the scenes. Some of the stuff I didn't even know, and it's great to get informed on what's going on. And if you have any extra questions at the end of a busy week, you can get them straightened out.
Thanks so much, guys. With that, we're going to end it. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Take care. Everybody.